Welcome back to Twisted Metal Head On. In case you forgot everything that happened last time for some reason, we got to play as the game's terrible new hillbilly character that replaced Minion. But we also unlocked a second terrible new hillbilly character. We're gonna play as it this time. It's called ATV. They didn't even bother to give the vehicle a name. But they did name the driver Gene Ruddish. His bio starts by telling us that he always fancied himself a ladies' man. Unfortunately, no one ever told the ladies. So that's horrifying. But he's basically Evel Knievel. It even paraphrases a famous Evel Knievel quote, "Bones heal, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever." And he engages in daredevilry to try and impress women to no avail. So if he wins Twisted Metal, he's going to ask to be the most desired man on the planet. And his vehicle actually reflects his death-defying nature. It has 1 point of armor, so it can't stand up in a firefight at all. All it has is handling, which is normally useless, but in this specific level, maneuverability actually can help prolong your life. That is going to make this one particularly hard to watch for people who get motion sickness, because we're going to be ducking and weaving all through all kinds of weird structures. But we are going to be surviving, which is a rare thing for ATV to do. We've seen a few vehicles with armor ratings of 2, which translates to about 95 hit points. This car has 50 hit points, so about half as many. It'll fall apart immediately if an enemy attacks us. A remote bomb will take off half our health all at once. So we can't try to tank anything, we have to run away from all threats. But in the Coliseum, we can climb out of any danger or drop down if we need to. Plus there's all sorts of hidden exits. One of them has the minigame teleporter inside of it. So there's plenty of ways we can sneak out if enemies do manage to follow us. There's only one other level in the game with this sort of narrow vertical structure to it. But that level has 5 enemies in it, and this one only has 4. So this is the single easiest level that this weak character could possibly come up against. His special is actually really, really good. He throws a stick of dynamite, has not very good homing, but some homing nonetheless. And it does 29 damage, which is huge for a special in this game. Unfortunately, it's the upgraded special. Collecting all 6 upgrades with a vehicle that dies this easily is nearly impossible. So we are not going to be using that special much longer, but we'll make the most of it while we can. We're going to want to keep our distance from enemies. We always want to have an escape route. This area outside of the pillars is a complete waste of space. There are no pickups out here. Nothing to see, nothing to do. In fact, this is the least interactive level in the entire game. No cool destructibles. The environmental weapon, which we haven't seen yet, is very underwhelming. It's very straightforward. Just kind of a standard level. Sort of thing you would have seen in Twisted Metal 2. There's a gigantic door in the floor. When you go to the underground area, that's the only way out, is to open that big door. So in that area with the pillars and the useless garden section thing is a teleporter that takes you to the underground spot, and on the opposite end is a teleporter that takes you up here, the very top of the Coliseum that is inaccessible otherwise. Good place to hang out and restock. Maybe get a few cheap shots on the enemies if you feel like it. But I'm playing risky, as one would do if they were Gene Ruddish. Professional dumbass. It's a shame we're getting such a similar character to the one I hated last time. So I think my favorite thing about doing these Let's Plays is the variety. The superficial sort of variety that comes with playing a different character in a different setting that has a different story in fundamentally identical gameplay. Having 2 characters of the same archetype in the same game really breaks that facade. And worse yet, there is a third hillbilly character in this game. But we'll worry about that when we get to it. Now I've almost instantly died twice. So I was doing really good, now I'm doing rather poorly. It's at least a fair demo of what it's like to play as this car. Every other level of this game is excruciating as ATV. You can just die instantly through no fault of your own, really. But anyway, here's the environmental weapon. That blue lava pit in the center of the Coliseum. When you activate the environmental weapon, it explodes and shoots out a fireball. The fireball can hit as many as one enemy. Has pretty good tracking, but it only does 5 points of damage, as you can see. Maybe the worst environmental attack in the game. And our special is maybe the worst special in the game. Talking about ATV's default special, not the upgraded one. I've used it once or twice already. It's like 2 volleys of grape shot, but they fire up and have a huge spread. You're most likely only going to get like 1 or 2 bullets to hit an enemy if they're gigantic and right in front of you. So it's terrible. Even if you really dump the whole thing into an enemy, it does very little damage. So I had to use a missile to finish off Axel and win the day. That was surprisingly painless. I really expected this to be like playing as Grasshopper in Twisted Metal 2, which was virtually impossible. I'm not entirely sure why they cranked the enemy count down to 4 for this level. It's the last time they'll do that in the game. All the rest of the levels have 5 enemies. But it certainly saved me a lot of trouble while playing as this intentionally underpowered character. He's still got one last chance to make us hate him, though. We've still got to see his ending, where he certainly does not come off well. But stick with this one. I've been looking forward to showing it off, and I think it is worth your time.
Well done, Mr. Ruttish.
Oh, dang, no, call me Genie.
Fine, Gene. Now then,
Oh, man, dang, no, just Genie.
Genie, you know it'd be a lot easier to understand you if you just opened your mouth when you spoke. Genie, you are the grand winner in this year's Twisted Metal. Claim your prize.
Dang, old man, Calypso, get me on some of those desire. We're gonna be on, dang, old, dutting on moves on, man, gonna say bow, bow.
Granted.
Man, I'm a dang old, ain't little making a dang old, no looking a thing.
No, but trust me, you're quite the catch.
Well, dang, how you doing? Oh, dang, oh, man. Dang, man, don't dang old hands off.
Is there a problem? You sure seem heavily desired.
Dang old woman, man. I want dang old woman.
I'm sorry. I must have misheard you.
No, man, don't battle to me, man. Go
So Boomhauer wished to be in an Axe body spray commercial, and it killed him. It's the single most mid-2000s thing that could have happened in this intensely mid-2000s game, and it's therefore the best representation of head-on anyone could ask for. If not for the really out-of-place gay panic moment, I'd say they made the best of this terrible character that no one could possibly like. But they still did a good enough job with the hand that they dealt themselves. And that's the last time we'll have to see obnoxious hillbilly characters. For a little while.